So I let my entire team go about 6 months ago, and not because they weren't awesome or anything like that. They were great, actually. But I had to let them go because, one, I realized my business was operating on an old model that I could see AI was going to make obsolete very quickly. And then number two, I realized I was paying people to do things that a machine could just do better. And the only reason that I hadn't pulled the trigger sooner was because I was scared. I was scared of code and the unknown, like genuinely scared of the terminal and APIs and security risks and all that stuff. And so naturally, like a good entrepreneur, I leaned right into the fear. And I've built something kind of cool on the other side. And in this video, I want to share with you what it is I've built. But first, for a bit of context, so before all this, I was a former certified financial planner turned online business coach. Now I help high-ticket coaches build lifestyle empires. And I'm not a developer. I'm not technical at all. But I have a lot of experience. I've sold over $30 million in products and services, built a 12,000 person school community, won the school games 3 times. And I'm currently attempting to build a 7-figure coaching business run entirely by 1 executive assistant and 6 AI agents. And last month we did $71K in revenue. But 6 months ago, I didn't know what an API was. I didn't know what a token was. I was dropping $3 or $4 grand a month on tokens and AI tools and getting output that looked good, but it wasn't functional. And this is the thing that when you're building with AI that I'm learning is it's really easy to make something look good, like a nice dashboard, and it looks cool on the surface. But to have it actually work and be functional, that's something different entirely. And so I found this post on Facebook that I want to share with you. It kind of explains this situation well. So I have no idea who Jeff Hunter is, but I came across this. A friend actually sent this to me, and it was, I could build that. The most dangerous sentence in vibe coding era. And I hear it every single day. Someone sees a SaaS product, a tool, an app, and they think because AI can write code that they can build the whole thing in a weekend. And honestly, they might get 70% of the way there. The UI looks great, the demo works, the basic features function. But that last 30% is where dreams go to die. Vacation, who can log in, who can't, session management, password resets, OAuth flows, 2-factor, token expiration, all of data security. Where's the data stored? Who can access it? Is it encrypted at rest? Is it encrypted in transit? Are your API keys exposed on the front end? And it goes on, and it basically just talks about this idea that you can make a really good looking working demo and get it 70% functioning. But to have something that actually works, that users, other users will engage with, is a different story. And so this is something that I've learned the hard way. I got it to about that 70% before having to hire a software developer to help me take it over the finish line. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the challenges, some of the lessons that I learned, some of the expensive mistakes I made, and I'm going to share with you the Lifestyle Founder operating system that allows me to run my entire business with AI and AI agents and AI employees. All right, so let's dive in. So before I actually dive in and give a system where everything shows up in this dashboard, I run my whole business from here, my clients, the content, ads, the AI agents. This is the dashboard that has all of the key information and metrics that I need and the agents who are on the team. So I'm going to give you a tour of this cool thing that I built. But before I do, I want to actually just share some of the challenges, some of the lessons that I learned, and maybe help you avoid some of the mistakes and time wasted that I did. And so also, if you want this document, it will be underneath the video. I'm going to include this, which is just a command that you can put into terminal, which basically brings in the plugin marketplace of Anthropic skills. And I wanted to give you this because in this video, I'm sharing with you about building your AI team. And an AI team is really just made up of, let me come here. If you're building agents or you're building like an AI team, each agent kind of consists of a few things. One is an identity, right? Claude MD file is what you might have heard of. And then there are skills. And then there is context, kind of like the knowledge base. And these three things, if you have them, you can have AI do whatever it is you want and do it really well with a little bit of coaching and support. And so I wanted to include this, which is just a marketplace of different skills that you can add to your machine if you would like. Because what I'm going to be sharing with you today is just for my paying clients. If you want information on that, it's probably in the description as well. All right. So going back to some of the challenges that I ran into before having a working, functioning operating system was number one, actually making the big decision to let go of my team. This is actually a big thing that I see with the most successful coaches, consultants, service providers right now, is they're so busy with their clients working in a model that will quickly become obsolete, but they don't have enough time or space to learn and implement the AI systems and agents or automations, just like bringing AI into their business. And so for me, what it looked like was a big decision to go AI first and let go of my team. That was a challenge. And then I'm not technical, like I said. So I had to overcome the fear, the unknown. I remember going into Terminal for the first time and be like, somebody's definitely going to hack me. I'm going to screw this up. And so I was just very risk aware and cautious as I went through every step of this. And I'm grateful that I did it that way. For example, I did buy a Mac Mini. It was an investment, but I wanted to keep everything like isolated in its own sandbox. And that gave me some peace of mind to maybe learn a little quicker. And then the other challenge was like, because I lacked confidence and I'm not, technical or a software developer, I always second guessed myself and just like, I would start one project and be like, no, and I would trash it. And so the start took up so much time. Then API, tokens, security risk, I didn't really understand it. And because of that, when the first month that I had OpenClaw, I had it set up to API, which then spent tokens, and I spent over $3,000 on just tokens. And it was because I didn't have any idea what I was doing. But I was like, well, that's the cost of me learning. And so I would keep going. All right. And then the one other big thing that I just want to talk about is this 70% trap, which is when I first started building with AI, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I would build so many cool things. But for me, I've always built, I built for me, knowing that if I find something that works for me, I'm going to be giving it to my clients. And so as I'm starting to build with AI, the obvious next thing is like, this is cool, but how do I give this to a client? And that was where I learned about this 70% or like the 30% gap, which is there's a big difference between having something be functioning and a demo working and then actually being safe and secure and not spend a fortune on tokens and all the other things that you have to think about when building with AI. And so for the last 6-7 months, this is, what I have been learning and some of the challenges that I've overcome. And to have built something that fundamentally changes the way that I think about and the way that I actually go about growing an online coaching business is amazing. And my business is completely different because of this tool. And I'll give you one example, and then I'll just explain some of the like big decisions and actual steps that I took over the last 6 months that made this possible. And so a couple months ago, I lost my Instagram account. They disabled it or deleted it for violating a community standard. And I couldn't even create a new account. They're like, nope, we know it's you. And so I had to learn an entirely new channel, and I chose YouTube. But I quickly learned that YouTube, it takes something to create YouTube videos. You got to edit it, you got to caption it, you got to put some animations on it, you got to put a thumb. I mean, you don't have to, but I wanted to. And that became a whole project that I basically was like, well, this sounds like something that I can use to learn about AI. And that's what I did. And so I learned how to build automations and how to get skills and how to turn that whole thing into a process that now I can just shoot a quick video, dump it on my desktop and say, hey, got another one ready for you. And then the AI agent comes in, cuts, edits, captions, puts animations on it, creates a thumbnail, and publishes the YouTube to my account. I don't do any of that stuff. And if I had to, I probably wouldn't be creating this video right now or any video on YouTube because it's a pain in the butt. Okay. And so, but to be able to figure that out was amazing. And so part of there's like a mindset in there that allowed me to build in this way. But I'll just tell you, like, here's the steps and here's the stories and here's like a mindset, and then I'll give you a tour. All right. So the first big decision that made all the difference was letting go of the team. And then taking out the ownership. They're like, okay, I have to figure out how to build this. Then I started learning Claude Code. I started learning about agents and tokens. I joined AI communities on Skool. I started just consuming content and learning from other creators. And I took the dive. And a big thing that was super helpful in learning how to do anything with AI was everything was a project for me to learn the skill. It wasn't the project to like produce the thing. It was, I'm going to learn in this process. And some of them were expensive mistakes because I just kept going. And then I would create something and then there would be feedback and I'd learn. For example, spending $3,000 on API tokens. I don't do that anymore. In fact, I found a way for this whole thing to exist within the max plan. So I know I'm never going to spend more than $200 a month. Okay. And so I started working in Terminal. Then I learned about Visual Studio and Cursor and different platforms that were a little bit friendlier than just the Terminal. But I forced myself to do some work in there and have it. Now it's like totally normal. I watched other creators and see what they were doing. And I built to learn the skill. Like I said before, is the whole point of me going down this road was to learn the skill. I've said this before, but I watched a podcast and somebody mentioned like they were afraid of all of the jobs that AI was going to replace. I've since had a bit of a mindset shift around this because humans are the bottleneck. Humans fight change often, right? There's like 30% of the world who like embrace change and go with it, but most humans don't. And as AI is coming in, it's meeting human adoption, and that's becoming a bottleneck. And so it's actually not moving as fast as I thought it might have. But if you are somebody who is learning AI and is thinking in terms of, I am going to produce the output of 10 people because I'm going to learn how to build agents and AI skills and automations and how to think about creating with AI, then you're probably going to be fine because you can learn those skills a lot faster than people are adopting them. Anyways, little side learning or mindset shift. And in my own process over the last 6 months, it was like OpenClaw was the thing that had me dive into this part of AI. And then I spent a bunch of money on tokens. Then I moved to Claude Code. And then I went to the Max plan. And I started to try and build everything that OpenClaw could do on my own system and connect it to the Max plan so that whatever I built could have the full functionality of OpenClaw, but work with a limit of $200 a month. And that is what I've built here. All right. And so I wanted to share also this because this was an interesting insight. It says each dot is 3.2 million people. Okay. All of these gray dots never used AI. Never used AI. Okay. And then you have the green is they use some version of a free chatbot. Okay. And then you have yellow, which is way down here. So this is green. And then there's yellow, who is pays $20 a month for AI, like a chat subscription. And red is like uses coding and scaffolding and is building all of the tools and actually like really diving into AI. I was like, oh, well, the last 6 months, I've kind of gone through this. I've been using AI for a while, but it's like into these different categories. And now I'm definitely coding and building apps and enjoying it. All right. But it was a bit of a journey. But the mindset shift and the skill that I found most helpful in this process was thinking of it in terms of, I am building a skill. I'm re-skilling myself so that in a world that everything is run by AI, I'm not going to be left behind. And as a result of that, I did learn the skill, or am learning the skill, and I've been able to build some cool things, but the cool things are like a byproduct of actually like learning how to build with AI. All right. And so now let me show you what I built with AI. And I think a very important difference or distinction between this dashboard and the AI operating system I'm going to show you and all the other ones that are out there, which might look really awesome, or there's like one-off automations or lots of cool things that you can do with AI. This was all built around a system for generating and acquiring clients and growing a coaching business specifically. And it's not just a fancy dashboard. It's an operating system that does the things that produces the results. And I will just show you a couple because I think, let's have some receipts. This is my community. This community has, let's see if I can blow this up. So this was last month. And if you look at this community, that is 29,000 in that community. Then there is 31,000 in May in that community. And then there was Stripe over here, which was in May of this last May to June. It was 14, let's call it 10K US. And that's cool. So 71,000 because of the systems that we're working. YouTube, I have a brand new channel. I am learning YouTube, and I did manage to get my last post did 12,000 views, added 380 subscribers in the last 28 days. I think I've added, I don't know, it's about 600 or 700 subscribers. And so this dashboard isn't just like a fancy thing that looks cool and does some automations. It's like, it's working a system that is making the creative part, the parts that I actually enjoy, the coaching and the creating, feel very light because I don't have to do all the other stuff. All right. So with that said, let me give you a little bit of a tour. And if you want to see behind the scenes while I build this, you can join our community, Claude for Coaches. I share kind of more behind the scenes stuff in there. And if you want to build a business that has this kind of system and is run with AI, you can always apply or join any of the communities and send me a message. Happy to see if this would be a fit for you. So there's a few things. I'm just going to run through it, and that'll be it for this video. The dashboard is the thing that like looks cool and everybody wants, but really everything that's behind the dashboard is the actual secret sauce. And so, but the dashboard does pull up, what are the most important things to do today? And it will scan through all your emails, all your calendar, school communities, everything that you're working with, and it will pull out the most important elements. Then it will have like numbers. So this also integrates with Skool. There's a software that we use called Scoot that will bring anything related to school into our dashboards. Then we have, this is recent calls. So when we have a call with Zoom, the AI agent grabs the Zoom recording, brings it in here, puts the actions that were mentioned on the call as a to-do list, and creates the summary. So all of those conversations show up right here. Then we have email list. We have the meta ads, right? So it can show just like at a glance views, all of your content planning and creating, what's scheduled for the day, and then all of the having some intel, like what's actually going on in your niche or industry. So every day this will pull news and trends with the things that I'm interested in. So Anthropic or Claude, AI industry, meta ads, coaching industry, and Skool. All right. And then it pulls out all of the, here's all the agents. So this is the dashboard, and this is just pulling information from these other tabs. So then there is a tracker for active client. This is like all your key numbers. So these are all automations that pull in your key KPIs and key numbers. So that comes in there. Then clients, as clients are onboarding, and you can have you can track them, and you can know if they're at risk or if they're paused or churned. And it gives you like an ability to see, like, are they healthy, at risk, have they churned out, and just have a pulse on all of your clients. Then you have the content, and this thing is wild. So we'll start up here for competitors. So you can go Instagram, YouTube, and this will pull all of your competitors. And I could go into, let's go check out Layla Hormozi. This will pull all of her posts, and then it will actually break down each post, and you can see, like, why is it working? This one had, so it says hook structure is authority, content structure is education, talking head, discussing workplace dynamics. So what's the text hook, spoken hook, topic? So it just breaks down every piece of content and knows, like, why did it work and why did it not? And if you want to click on it, it'll just take you to the post right there. So this is just aggregating data into the system of, like, here's the competitors for both Instagram and for YouTube. And so it does the same thing over here on YouTube. And basically what it's doing is just building a ginormous library of hooks and content structures and things that are actually working. And then when I'm talking to the AI agent, which I'll just maybe go over here. So we have these AI agents over here. One of them is the social media agent. I can ask the social media agent for context or ideas on hooks, and I can have it reference all of the competitors. And so when I'm brainstorming about what type of content to create, it's not just a generic AI, and it's not just my own brain, right? So this is kind of like a best of both worlds AI. Well, it's what I would want to build as part of the system, right? And so it takes the researching and cognitive load off, and the results are improving as I learn a totally new platform, right? Then I can have it pump out like a weekly game plan, and this will bring up some ideas for content creating for YouTube, Instagram, email, ads, give you some content ideas every day. And then there is the studio. And so this is where you can actually go to create. If you want to create an email, you can write it in here, turn it into a draft, or schedule it, or publish it. And then here's a cool thing. If I finish this, I could copy paste this, or actually, I don't even need to do that. I can come in here and I could go to the executive assistant, and I can say, I think I did that over here. Like, I said, here, can you, I wrote this email. I gave it, here's my emails I wrote in Notion. Can you publish those and send them on Go High Level? Sure enough, it did. I'll just show you really quick. If I log into my Go High Level, you'll see all of these emails have been scheduled. All right. So these agents here, the video editor, I can just post videos on the desktop and it will edit it and do all the things for short form or long form, but I've only been doing long form for the last couple months since my Instagram is shut down. Tech officer is connected to Zapier and Go High Level and all the techie stuff. media buyer, they all have different skills and context, right? So the media buyer is connected into my ads manager. I can ask it to do analysis, research competitors, their ad library, create new audiences, launch ads, do everything that a media buyer can do. This has given me so much more confidence with my ads. And for sure, this is another result that I could share around having an operating system like this. We have a $47 community, and it's currently costing $24 to get a purchase. So we're making more than 2 to 1 on our front end offer because of the ads that we're running, right? That the media buyer helped with. And then the executive assistant. There's one other agent that is coming, which is the strategist. And this was the first tool and project I built, which was like everything that I do in a creative way, create ads, school content, close by chat, creating offers, creating workshops, creating YouTubes, video sales letters, all of that stuff. I built agents for using my frameworks and processes for creating this kind of stuff. And so these are all individual agents, but it's actually going to turn into one. And there will be 6, maybe 7 full agents who run everything. And this is the team. And this is what I think. Like maybe there's a handful of ways to build a 7-figure coaching business, but most coaches I know, or high ticket consultants, these are the key hires that actually give you your time back and allow you to just focus on the things that you actually like to do and enjoy. And then finally, there is also ads. So you can monitor the ads, and then there's tasks. So you can give different agents different roles, and you can watch and make sure everything gets done. And so this is the Lifestyle Founder OS. It takes our systems with the school engine and the workshops and running ads, and has built an AI agent to help support with every step of that process and run that system. And so this has been amazing for me and is just like continuing to get better. And the goal is July 1st, we'll be launching this. We'll be doing a beta launch and looking for other high-ticket established coaches who want to build an AI team. And so if that's you, you can comment on this video or reach out to me in school or join our Claude for Coaches community to get the updates. But yeah, this has been the journey, and this is my AI team. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.